United States is currently witnessing a mega drought, one that has sent water levels plunging to a historic low. At these lows, the Hoover Dam stands unable to generate electricity for the hundreds of thousands of people of western U.S. Our next report telling you more.
The world has witnessed the devastating impact of climate change. And to no one's surprise, things aren't very different in the United States. Especially in western United States, which has been witnessing a mega drought for over 2 decades now. One that has parched Lake Mead, in fact, all of the Colorado River Basin. The water levels here are currently at dangerously low levels.
We're in our 23rd year of drought here in the Colorado River Basin, and so Lake Mead has dropped down to 28%. So there isn't as much head, so there isn't as much pressure pushing on the water into the turbines, so they have to work harder. So there's less efficiency and we aren't able to produce as much power.
These aren't just numbers. This is the grim reality, and it spells doom for the hundreds of thousands of homes that rely on the Hoover Dam to generate electricity. You see, at these levels, there just isn't enough water to power the turbines at the Hoover Dam. A dam which was once hailed as an American engineering marvel. Built between 1931 and 1936 during the Great Depression, on the border between the US states of Nevada and Arizona. It is from this very dam that the Lake Mead originates, which happens to be the biggest reservoir in the United States. And just the thought of one of the biggest reservoirs in the country drying up, it's enough to send chills down the spine. So you can only imagine the practical ramifications of the same.
At elevation 950 feet above sea level, Hoover Dam can no longer produce hydropower. We're at 1,043 feet today.
At its height, the lake surface sits over 1,200 feet above sea level. But after more than 2 decades of drought, it is now less than 1,050 feet. That is the lowest since the lake was filled. And it is falling about a foot a week. While some say this is the direct consequence of climate change, others believe it is the result of poor water management. But the reality is that this once brimming reservoir is no longer adequate to sustain the many US citizens who have relied on it for years.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this first. All right, 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because these are evil times, bad times that we're in. And Ezra, he saw the vision of these times, man. The Lord showed him a vision. And as you can see, man, they got droughts going on for 23 years. All right. And yeah, man, it said the Hoover Dam that was established by Esau, these damn rich elites during the time of the Great Depression. Really just to make money and control resources. And now they power the whole area of so-called, I think it's Colorado. All right. So it's causing a drought, which is ultimately going to affect the economy, which is ultimately going to cause power outages, famine, you know. So it's not just there, it's all over America, droughts in the West Coast, East Coast. And it's not the Euphrates. You know, you got some cats teaching out there. Euphrates is over in the east, all right, so-called east. Now, and the Euphrates is drying up, but it's drying up due to drought and also the what you call it, Turkey, all right, the country Turkey. 90% of the water goes through Turkey and travels down to the Kurds through the Euphrates, and they control it. And they've been cutting off the pipeline, which is also with the drought is making it worse. All right, drying up the land, preparing it to be a battleground for war. So, but that's not talking about here in America. Here in America, it's a judgment on this place. All right, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. What's that? No water. Look what happened in Detroit. You know, so they obviously got an issue with the water here, the water system, and the water system is poisoned with all kind of you know stuff we probably can't say now. But you already know. Just look up Dick Cheney and what he authorized to be put into the water system. All right. Now, it says here, it was a fluoride, you know. It says the beginning of famine and great death, man. So it's going to bring famine. Famine also means what? Lack of food, lack of bread, lack of water, lack of crops, and you know. And that says the beginning of wars. So you see the beginning of wars happening with Russia. Everything is happening right on cue, right according to the Lord's plan. The fire is being kindled before his arrival. And the powers shall stand in fear, man. See, all the powers on the earth, especially here in America, they're standing in fear. They standing, but they're standing in fear. And fear is what of the unknown. The beginning of evils, right? You see, they just did CERN yesterday on the 5th of July, messing with quarks and stuff. I remember I was putting it out there before about the quarks and atoms and things like that. Now it's like that's what the topic is. You know what I'm saying? You had this idiot out there, wasn't there, a war, the Mississippi Maniac, tried to say I was crazy for talking about quarks, saying that's Esau's. I was saying that's Esau's, what they call it, but they also call it the God gene, you know, and that's what I was saying before they even started talking about all this stuff. The Lord showed it to me in a vision, but I got rebuked for it wrongly by a tyrant, a tyrannical group over there with Al War and his little cronies that he was around. All right, the Mississippi Maniac. But now, look, it's the topic. You got to talk about that to understand what they're doing. And, but we call them elements according to the scriptures, and that's common sense. But you still have to talk about hydrogen, to be able to understand what's going on in these times. All right? So, yeah, man, and the power shall stand in fear and the beginning of evils, man. They just cut on that CERN, which they try to say it was a portal. But hey, who knows? You never know what Esau up to. All right. Look what they pushing out here today, man. All these false flags. Look at the 4th of July celebration that got shot up all of a sudden by that guy, that Edomite. You can go on and on, man. There's nothing but death out here. Just witness a body getting carried out by my neighbor. That, that had that OJ the Juice Man. I ain't laughing at her. I'm just laughing at, like, we can't say shit on YouTube. Shit, it's wild. It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So what can anybody do in the midst of this? The only thing we do is, the best thing anybody, Israelites should do is turn to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man, and ask for forgiveness and protection. Behold, famine and plagues. That's what happened, lack of water, plagues and famine. And tribulation and anguish, man, from starvation and dehydration and death are sent as scourges for amendment, man, And I just watched this, my neighbor, they were waiting since this morning with a dead body in their house. They had to open the windows and everything and throw the chairs out. They were waiting all the way till almost till noon for the funeral home, the coroner to show up. So in that day, they're going to leave the dead out here, man. They ain't going to have nobody to pick them up or the resources to do it at that time, people are going to be worrying about saving themselves. Or it might not be any coroners around. All right? Are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these... Oh, so like, I'm going to get to the point now. I don't want to go that deep into this topic. You know what? Yeah, this is a good point. 21. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge, especially 2/3. They're not going to turn from their wicked ways and see that it's the Lord judging. They ain't going to be able to understand that. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. See that? Everything's cheap right now. Well, not anymore. Hyperinflation kicking in. But it's still cheap in some ways. You still go to the poppy store, corner stores, and buy certain things. That they shall think themselves to be in good case, man. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. See, the evils, these are bad things that are growing, like the droughts. You know, America is just in drought for 23 years now. It's getting worse now. And the levels of the Hoover Dam are sinking every hour, they said. So that's going to cause a lot of suffering and death and blackouts and no lack of energy and resources. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of the famine, and the other that escape shall the hunger. Escape the hunger, shall the sword destroy. And after we had the missiles and martial law. All right, and race wars. So the Lord is bringing that judgment. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, meaning no man to come and pick up the bodies. All right. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, right? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we were over here in slavery, of course around the world too, but the mass slave trade ended up over here in America, all right? We all know this. All right, it says this, so this is a place of our captivity, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go, just like Pharaoh. Now this place, America, is in that same spirit of Egypt. All right. So the Lord hardened their hearts to where they wouldn't let us go because it's a punishment upon us. But now the Lord is freeing us and redeeming us from that. Their Redeemer is strong, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai of hosts. Yahweh is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon, right? Plead means to judge. So he's going to judge our cause, and he's going to disquiet this place, man. They were at rest in their wickedness here, you know, and they wanted to keep going like that. But the Lord is disquieting this place, you know. It says, sound of battle is in the land, and destruction and death. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, all right? Today would be the elites over in Europe and over here in America, the elite Edomites. Saith Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon. So all the citizens in this place and the people that make it a country or United States. All right. So all the Babylonians, which would be Americans today, and upon her princes and upon her wise men. You know, these damn Edomites over here, and their celebrities, you know, and their religious leaders and their politicians. So the Lord said he has destruction coming for him. And the sword is upon the liars, that's the false prophets, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, the military, the police force. Wow, man. And they shall be dismayed. Sheesh. You know? And what the Lord said, ain't going to be nobody to comfort the people because all the service members, like the police, the ambulance, fire department, everybody gonna be rushing home to take care of their families, or put to the judgment, to the sword, according to the Lord, man. And the word sword just means destruction. And they shall be dismayed. Wow. Let me get that real quick. Right. So it said they're mighty men, and they're basically their leaders, and their spiritual leaders are gonna become what? So they're gonna show wicked folly. That's what they're doing right now, man. Everybody panicking, trying to get money. Look what these pastors are doing. Look how their leaders are acting. Look how the police are acting. So they bugging out. They losing their damn mind. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. See that? So their politicians and their religious leaders, they're going to become, and their scholars going to become confounded. And their army and their police departments and all their services, their intelligence and all that, FBI, all that, they're going to be what? Dismayed, to prostrate, to break down, either by violence or by confusion and fear. See that? So he said what? Their mighty men have forborne to fight. They're going to be scared to fight from the fear of the Russians and the judgment that's coming upon them. Excuse me. A sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots. So that's talking about their vehicles. That's where you have high gas prices. All right, today the modern day horses and the chariots are the cars. All right, and military vehicles and average citizens, their vehicles. And upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of us. See, this is a melting pot, the mingled, the great city. So the Lord says a sword upon everybody in this place, except for the elect. And they shall become as women, a sword. Wow. All right. They're going to become as women. And a sword is upon her treasures. All right. 'Cause you already know. They shall become as women. All right. That's why you got all these different letter groups out here nowadays. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now it says, a sword is upon her treasures. See, a sword is upon America's economy and the dollar, and they shall be robbed. Ooh, so all the nations that owe America, they're gonna take the money. They're gonna keep what they owe, and even the bankers, the elite bankers, are robbing America of its riches through bailouts, through what do you call that, hyperinflation, through raising the interest rates, giving PPP loans. They're using all that to strip the wealth from this place. A drought. What? A drought. What's a drought? So this is all part of it. The big picture that's being painted, just like the crickets showing up over there, or the locusts showing up. A drought, dryness, desolation, drought, heat, dryness, drought, parching, heat, man. And they try to say it's from global warming, and they were like, oh wait, but some people saying that it's from low maintenance. That's the one. That's the low maintenance. That's the one. All right, not no global warming. It says a drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. See, it's gonna happen. Ain't nothing they can do about it. They're like, we're gonna try to stop and fix this and do some. We gotta fix global warming. The Lord like, yo, don't believe that. Don't believe the hype. They shall be dried up. Period. For it is the land of graven images. This place, man, this wicked place. Everywhere you go, it's all Masonic. I was showing my children videos of where I'm from yesterday in Philadelphia downtown, and all they like, look at our Masonic buildings, and it's like they proud of it. The whole shit is laid out in the Masonic pagan symbolisms. So it's the what? The land of graven images, even idols such as American idols, right? Even celebrities, and they are mad upon their idols, man. You see that? Yeah, what? Basically, to be boastful. All right, to be made foolish, to make into a fool, to act madly, act like mad people, man. They bugging the hell out upon their idols, man. So hey, man, right, man. With this Isaiah 65, and I start from maybe 12. 11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh. See, 2/3 are in this place forsaking the Lord, man, and around the world. That forget my holy mountain. See, the ox know of his owner, the ass his master's crib, meaning knowing that they're from Israel. All right, the government of Israel. That prepare a table for that troop and furnish the drink offering unto that number. All right, so they basically selling out to this current system that's in power, this world order under Esau. So 2/3 of Jakes are selling out to that. All right. And therefore will I number you to the sword. That's what goes into Revelations 13:16. The MOTB as well. And these other specific judgments, such as the drought and famine, and the sword. He says, what? Therefore will I number you to the sword. So you don't want to be in the number of the 2/3. You want to be amongst the number that the Lord said he's been waiting for, according to the book of 2nd Ezra. All right, that he's longed for, 144,000 and the 1/3 of the sands of the sea. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. All right, so they like, no, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna build a bunker, doomsday prepping. The Egyptologists and Black Panthers. But the Lord said, what? And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. They're gonna sell out, and they're gonna bow down to it because they didn't want to listen to the Lord. So the Lord not gonna be with them. They ain't gonna have no strength to stand. It says, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. See, the victuals are so good, cheap, they think themselves to be in good case. Ye did not hear. See, they didn't hear the men out there teaching. Instead, they wanted to scoff and hate us, because they really hate the truth and they hate the Lord. But did evil before mine eyes, right? That's why I said they became as women. You know what I'm saying? So you can go on and on with that. All the abominations that are in this place, America, and did choose that wherein I delighted not, right? They choosing all these different idols and wickedness that comes with it. They're choosing all the desires of this place. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So all these rich folks out here, celebrities, they're going to be the ones hungry. These Edomites, these heathens. It says what? When there's no food, all right? Hyperinflation or a lack of resources coming over here, food imports, or panic buying, and famine due to crops being destroyed and cattle. So in factories being shut down with lockdowns, it's a lot. Behold, my servants shall drink, see, but ye shall be thirsty. These people are going to be thirsty till they dry out. But the Lord said his servants are going to have drink. We're going to have water. All right. Behold, my servants shall rejoice. In that day, we're going to be rejoicing, man. We're rejoicing now, but in that day, we're going to rejoice even more because the Lord going to show miracles, man, in this realm, in the matrix. It says what? But ye shall be ashamed, man. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. They're gonna be in pain, man, and suffering. So hey, that's just it, man. Especially these damn Edomites. In these suburbs, they got all the wealth and riches and water reservoirs and all this madness, and people out here suffering and starving. And these businesses, you know. Esau, first one hired, last one fired. Jake is the opposite. So hey, man, it's there, man. That's what this is, the judgment. It's the Lord bringing this slow death upon this place, man. Which is also part of the drought that's coming upon this place. All right, that's already in motion. So I'm saying, shalom.